About a month ago, I was perusing Amazon.com after making a book purchase. Frequently after I do this, Amazon will present a screen with other recommended books based on your buying habits, and I normally actually don't pay very much attention to it, but for some reason I just scanned the books. And one that really caught my mind was this one, Living Gently in a Violent World, The Prophetic Witness of Weakness, and it was written by Stanley Hauerwas and Jean Vanier. Now, Stanley Hauerwas is the Professor Emeritus of Divinity and Law at Duke Divinity School. He's a prolific writer and theologian. I've read some of his books before. Jean Vanier is the founder of L'Arche Community and the receiver of the Templeton Award in 2015. Now, L'Arche communities are those communities that actually Jean Vanier started that take in severely mentally and physically disabled people, and they create community for these folks, and it's really expanded. It's international at this point. Those of you that are familiar with Henry Nouwen, someone who I have referred to many times in my sermons over the years, he actually ended up spending his last 10 or 12 years at a large community in Toronto called Daybreak. So as I said, the title of the book captured my attention. I just found the juxtaposition of gentleness, weakness, and violence thought-provoking. Normally we think that violence will completely swallow up gentleness, so why would you be gentle? And I've actually been thinking about it off and on over the last 4 or 5 weeks. As I was thinking about it, one of the first things that came to my mind when I was thinking about the word gentleness, was Galatians 5:22 and 23. That's a famous passage about the fruits of the Spirit. For the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, generosity, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. So gentleness is one of the fruits of the Spirit. However, when we read that passage, most often the words that get the emphasis are the first 4 or 5 words. Gentleness and self-control frequently kind of fall off at the end, and we don't really think much about them or talk much about them. But gentleness is one of the fruits of the Spirit. And then I thought about Jesus, and I thought about Matthew 11:28 and 29, where Jesus says, "Come to me, all you that are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls." So Jesus says about himself, I am gentle and humble in heart. And then he became curious. I wondered how often gentleness was actually used. The word gentle and gentleness were used in the New Testament. So I thought I would do a little research and find out. And I found out that there are 10 verses encouraging gentleness and another 6 verses encouraging us to be gentle. So then I thought I would go to the dictionary and look up the word. So I actually used 2 different dictionaries. One dictionary said having or showing a mild, kind, or tender temperament, not strong or violent. And the second one said kindly, amiable, not severe, rough, or violent. I have to confess, from a theoretical point of view, gentleness makes sense, but it feels kind of wimpy, really, when you think about living your life that way. Sure, it feels okay if we're talking about being gentle with our family members, with our children, with our spouses, with our friends, but at work and the way we live our lives, being gentle, it feels like we'd just be swallowed up. It doesn't seem all that workable, does it? But then I think about Jesus, who says he was gentle. He certainly was no wimp. Jesus displayed such incredible courage. He spoke the truth in love for sure, but he stood up to the powers that oppressed people. He did so gently and in weakness, but Jesus was no wimp. Hauerwas writes the following about Vanier in one of the chapters of his books. It reads this way. Love doesn't mean doing extraordinary or heroic things. It means knowing how to do ordinary things with tenderness. Tenderness and gentleness characterize the life and work of Jean Vanier, as well as the L'Arche movement. Jean observes that community is made of the gentle concern that people show each other every day. It is made up of the small gestures of service and sacrifices which say, I love you, and I am happy to be with you. It is letting the other go in front of you, not trying to prove you are right in a discussion. It is taking the small burdens from the other. We can ask ourselves, as individuals and as a community of faith, do tenderness and gentleness characterize our life and work? Amen.